My 18 female, boyfriend 19 male, keeps doing everything that makes me uncomfortable. Am I overreacting or is this serious? When I say I'm confused, I mean I genuinely have no idea if I'm losing my mind or if what's happening is actually something serious. So here's the whole story. My boyfriend and I have been dating for almost 10 months now. In the beginning, everything was honestly perfect. He was sweet, caring, and always wanted to spend time with me. We would go to his vacation house almost every second or third weekend, hang out after school, go on little dates, and do all the normal couple things. He wasn't really into the whole party lifestyle, which I absolutely loved. I thought I had finally found someone who wanted the same kind of calm, genuine relationship that I did. But after a few months, things started to change. Slowly at first. He didn't want to go out as much anymore. Instead, he preferred staying home and playing video games with his friends. At first, I didn't think too much of it. Everyone needs downtime, right? But it became more and more frequent until that was all he wanted to do. Then, even when we were together, he started acting like he didn't care how I felt. When we were at his vacation house and went out late, I'd tell him I was cold or tired, but he'd just ignore it and keep doing whatever he wanted. Normally, I'd just brush it off, but something about his attitude really started to bother me. It felt like he didn't care anymore. One day, while he was asleep, I was on his phone playing a game. I know I probably shouldn't have, but I got the urge to look for a photo of me that I knew he had saved. That's when everything changed. Instead of finding my photo, I found multiple nudes and videos of other girls from before we started dating, but still, it made my stomach drop. I confronted him about it right away, and it turned into a huge argument. He swore up and down that they were old and that he forgot they were there. I wanted to believe him so badly, and in the end, I forgave him. But honestly, I think that was the moment when everything between us started to break. After that, we started arguing constantly over small things, big things, basically everything. Then he started drinking and partying with his friends more often, even though I told him how uncomfortable it made me. He promised he'd tone it down, but he never did. Instead, he got more distant. He stopped visiting me as often, didn't want me to come with him to his vacation house anymore, and when we talked, he barely had anything to say. It felt like I was the only one trying to hold things together. Then, about a month ago, I started university. Out of nowhere, he told me he didn't love me anymore and wanted to break up. Just like that. I was completely devastated, but I respected his decision and tried to move on. But only a few days later, he came back, saying he'd made a mistake and still loved me. Against my better judgment, I took him back, but I made it clear that things had to change. I told him if we were going to make this work, he needed to show that he cared, not just say it. I also asked him to cut down on the partying and focus on rebuilding our relationship. But guess what? Nothing changed. At all. If anything, things got worse. Since getting back together, he's been out partying every single weekend. It's made it almost impossible for us to spend time together, especially since I live in another city now for school. When I tell him I can't visit because of my studies, he gets angry, like I'm the one neglecting him. It's frustrating because I feel like I'm the only one trying, while he just does whatever he wants. And then this weekend, he crossed a line I can't seem to get over. He told me he was going to another city to party with his friends. I wasn't really comfortable with it, but I trusted him when he said he'd be staying at his sister's place. Everything seemed fine until I didn't hear from him for hours. He wasn't answering texts or calls. Then, out of the blue, he messaged me saying he was staying over at some girl's place. Not his sister's, some random girl's. I honestly didn't even know what to say. I felt sick. After everything we'd been through, all the promises, all the second chances, that's what he does? Now I'm sitting here wondering, Am I overreacting, or is his behavior actually disrespectful? Because deep down, I feel like I already know the answer. I just don't know why I keep holding on.